Hey everyone, it is Friday, January 21st. This is what I'm going to be doing. Reading for Khalid. If I'm mispronouncing the name, the story behind that is because for the longest time I thought that DJ Khalid rebranded as like an R&B artist and he just switched one of the letters. So it took me a very long time to even realize they were different people. So ever since then, I have named him Khalid. So if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize, but just so you guys know, and if you're new here, I like to just state what I know about the people that I'm doing readings on. That way you kind of know the beginning of my bias, since we all have bias against or for people, not just like how I live my life. So that's kind of where I'm starting with this. I enjoy his music. I am aware that he has come out with new music. I've listened to a few of the songs, not all of them, but that is coming through. Information about your music is coming through. Please read the description below, again, if you're unaware of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to start switching over now and talking as if I'm doing a reading for Khalid. Okay, so what I'm seeing is it's several stuff that I'm picking up right now. Okay, so there's, first of all, I have these cards that I set to the side. I glanced at them because they fell out forward. I wasn't sure if I was going to pull any cards for you, but I will get to this in a minute. Actually, okay, so being told, let's go ahead and get to this now. So we have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Then we have crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. You will receive a gift, box. Dog, barking, advice from a friend. Okay, so what I was feeling for you is that, in particular, this is not a romantic relationship that I am picking up on that's relevant to what I want to talk about. Not saying that you're not involved in a romantic relationship with someone, not saying that there isn't any of this going on. That's not what is being told to me to talk about right now. What I see is that your music currently is solidifying you into it's a foreverhood is the word that I'm getting specifically. I was seeing if it was infamy because I thought that I was hearing infamy, but that obviously has a negative definition. But then I heard forever and hood, like foreverhood. So that's what I heard. What I feel is important about this to specify, though, is there will be opportunities for you to showcase your abilities to the world in a way that you haven't done so up until now. Examples would be to perform at, one of these events like the Grammys or whatever, perform at the Super Bowl, receive certain rewards, things like that. However, what I see specifically is these accolades are of this world, and it's a manipulation of your reality, of your truth, of who you are. And so it's kind of this falsity to say it's reducing you. It would be a manipulation tactic to reduce you to these accolades, which in reality don't mean much of anything. So the work that you're producing, the work that you're putting out, the work that you're feeling and creating is something that's solidifying you and your soul and grounding you. And that is where the true foreverhood is. So there's going to be an interception. There has been, and there will continuously be, an attempt at intercepting your energy, where they're going to try and, when I say they, who is they? I see this more of the dealings with a woman. Now, I do feel that there are female, it would be like head female representatives of some sort of organization or organizations, but they could also be surrounded by men. So an example would be if it's a strong female artist, but she's represented by a male dominant record label or whatever kind of business enterprise that are trying to recruit you through her, but she is one of their main sources of income, kind of thing, and she essentially works for them, even though she seems like she's more independent, which in reality she's not, right? So this is kind of the gifting, right? The gifting and the enterprise. Like, what I see is you can balance this out. You could do whatever you want. This is your choice. You have the free will to do whatever you want. But this is more of just highlighting the realities of things, highlighting what's really going on, what's happening, so you can make the best decision for yourself. Because again, it's what you're doing that is, no matter what, going to stand the test of time. There's something very unique and important to the way that you deliver your craft, that nothing of this world can ever really compare. So it kind of serves as a distraction if you were to take that route, because you would look, there is a chance, depending on how grounded you are, depending on potentially maybe this, okay, we'll get to this, because I feel this is a mixture of people. There are friends that you have who are keeping you grounded, who are keeping you aware of what's going on, and it's even aware of your surroundings. And these friends can either be people who are here in this world, or they could be your guardian angels. I'm not 100% sure who these people are, but they're people that you connect with, okay, that are very close to you and have your best interest in mind. Then there are other people who are masking as your friends, who, I'm not going to say masking as your friends, because I mean, I'm sure you do have people who are disingenuous, but that's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is people who think that they're giving you good advice, thinking that they're telling you what is good for you and your career and career moves and what to do with your life. Like, they're trying to command you into doing things that don't actually align with your soul's mission. And so instead, it kind of creates confusion for you. It creates miscommunication within yourself and miscommunication with the people who actually, they understand you at a more, it's like a more symbolic level, a more sympathetic, symbolic, and spiritual level. And so that's where this balance needs to, I see you teetering. So you are fairly grounded. You're a pretty grounded person. But the more popular you become, the more known you become, the more aligned you are with your mission, the more that I'm seeing your energy expanding, the more that you're expansive, the more that these opportunities, worldly opportunities, are going to come in to try and disrupt that, right? And so that's what I'm seeing here, is people are going to be coming in. They've already come in, but they're continuously going to be coming in, trying to energetically intercept you, whether it's intentional or not, to throw you off course of what you are truly here to do. What you're truly here to do, I feel you're already doing it. There's still more steps, because I'm being drawn to a family now. So let's put this to the side, and we're talking about why you're here. And it's being highlighted to me, so I think that it's important to talk about that your music, that is part of your path. Your destined path was for you to become a musician, for you to become an artist, and to put your music out there. And again, it feels very solid. You're solidifying yourself as, it's legendary. What you're doing is legendary as far as in the music industry. In a way, it's in a way that people have not seen before, have not connected. Like, you connect the dots in a way that no one ever has before. And I'm hearing the words dangerous altitude. You're at a dangerous altitude. So that, I don't know how that relates. It kind of feels like separate, but also the same. So dangerous altitude. So just keep that in mind. And then I get like an image of, it kind of reminds me of the Swiss Alps. If you've ever flown over the Swiss Alps and you can see the jagged snow, it's like from a plane view, like that kind of altitude, like literally a dangerous altitude, looking down at the snowy plains. And I'm hearing you have to be careful. You have to be careful. So that feels like a separate warning to just pay attention to. So I see hold on, let's go back to that. I'm being drawn to keep, okay. I think you have this premonition that someone or some people don't want to see you do good. Like they are looking to you as a threat, because the way that you perceive, again, it's the way that you perceive things and the way that you piece music together, or it's not just music, it's the way you live your life. It's something, you connect your life to your music in a way that is very different than a lot of people. And you have this fear. It's a little bit of a fear, but it's more of like a premonition. So then that kind of causes a little bit of like heightened awareness. It's not necessarily fear, it's heightened awareness that something isn't right. Like, you can feel that something isn't right. Someone's planning something, someone's doing something that is not in your best interest. And you are wanting to know what that's about. You're wanting to know what that's about. So I'm gonna get another deck, because I feel like this deck is actually gonna tell me somebody's gonna have some sort of I don't know, it's gonna have something in here, I guess. So yeah, while I do this, I want to talk. Okay, let me do this first. I don't want me to go anywhere else. serendipity, serendipitous moment, serendipity, serendipity. Okay. The thing is, someone is leading you on, is what it is. Or at least that's your fears and your concerns, is that you're being led on. And this, I can't tell if this is like a new subject. Like, I don't know if this is a romantic partner, if this is work related, if this is everything compiled. I'm not able to interpret what I'm being told with regards to that. Okay. I want to say that, but it is some sort of relationship dealings, right? Like something that's close to you. This isn't going to be, you know, it's someone close to you. It's like, let me try and tune in. Okay, okay. I won't get into trying to pick up the main details of everything, but basically it kind of feels like you feel as though you're not necessarily a failure. In some ways it kind of feels that way, but it's like, well, I keep trying and trying and trying, and yet I'm not necessarily getting to that one goal that I've had in mind. And because I've set my sights on this one particular goal, I don't feel like I'm able to be what I define as successful. And it makes me feel like no matter how hard I try, when does the payoff happen? Like, when does that happen for me? When am I able to feel like I'm a success? You know, and even with this, I feel this is you essentially saying like I understand things at a different level. It feels I've opened up my heart in a way that I haven't ever opened my heart up. I've poured myself into this, and yet it seems like I haven't hit my stride yet. It's like every time I get to like the next, it's like this, like building blocks. Like once I get to that next building block or that next step, it's like I have this realization that there's more and more and more steps. Like nothing is ever enough for me because I haven't gotten to where I feel like I'm gonna be enough. And the most important process I see for you is that you have to be grateful for where you are right now. And that's the reason why you're at this particular position right now, is because you have these moments of gratitude. You have these moments of celebrating yourself and celebrating your journey and celebrating your story. But then you start comparing yourself to these idealized versions of yourself and idealized versions of reality, and in a way you compare yourself to other people. You know that there's no comparison, and yet you do it anyway because they have things that to you are representatives of success. And so that's where you compare it. And the message that I'm receiving from your guardian angels are saying that you have everything that you need. Like, you are cared for, and you have everything. Like, the basic foundations of living you have, right? Like, you can take care of yourself. Like, financially, you don't have to there's no extreme burdens with regards to basic living, right? Like, the basic living costs, if you had to live in wherever, anywhere in the world, like, you would be able to pay that. For food, you would be able to provide yourself with food. And then even with your creative expression and your creative outlook, you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that. I'm seeing the repetitions of 4s and 2s here all over, and including when I look up, and I'm seeing, like, in my mind's eye, 4 4 2 2 2 2 4 4 4 2 2, like, repetitions of that. So that's obviously important to your reading. But the way that I see this is, see how she's elevated in these 2 cards. The way I don't know, you will get to that point where you aren't jumping to the next step. You'll be floating above it. But you have to temper yourself. And by tempering yourself, you have to achieve that balance within yourself and within your reality. You have to master that step instead of looking for the next. Like, okay, I'm here at that step. Let me get to the next one already. Appreciate where you are right then and stay grounded. Know that your basic needs are met. That's all you need in this world. And if you want to continue on your soul's mission, our true soul mission in life does not have to do with the material world. It has nothing to do with the material world. In some ways it can for some people, so I won't generalize in that sense. But if it did have to do with the material world for these people, it's because of something spiritual, if that makes sense. And so for you, you have to be okay with that thought. You have to be okay with that reality and that truth. And if there were any kind of fears of losing everything or losing anything, then that needs to be addressed within you. Because you're not ready to soar until you're comfortable of where you are right now. And so that's why in some ways you're perceived to be held back, but in reality you're not being held back. You're gaining momentum, you're gaining gratitude, you're recognizing how blessed of a position that you're in, and then from there you can get to that next step, and you won't, it's like if you were to just keep going and going and going, you wouldn't have gained the gratitude, and you would have all of the successes, all of these things, and it would throw you completely off balance. Even if you don't think that would happen, if you think that you can handle it, the fact that you are having these problems right now at the position that you are right now should be a truth teller to you that there are things that need to be addressed. There are things that need to be worked on. And it's very important. It reminds me, because I'm looking up and I keep the book, I have bookcases in front of me, and the book that I keep looking at is a book by Scott Fitzgerald, and it's about the jazz age, and I feel that is part of your path, is to be someone of that caliber. But to be of that caliber, you have to take it slow. You have to take it slow and appreciate every part of the process, because you're not, I see this comparison, it's like you comparing yourself to robots essentially, or these overnight successes, and there's nothing standout about them. It's because of the connections that they have, or like what they're willing to do to get there. And if you compare it to someone like, a lot of people from the jazz age really, but also someone similar, like recent, is someone like Michael Jackson, I would say, is like, there was, granted the family, but there's a lot of pain that happened there, but staying within their lane and staying truthful to their passions. Am I making sense? I think I'm making sense, but anyway. I saw a family, and it feels detached from you. Okay, so this can either be a fan of yours family, it can be your relatives' family, it could be your friends' family. If you have, it wouldn't be a wife. It would be like an ex-partner and a child. But I see another person, so it feels like an extension of a family. So it would be, you see, there's distance. And not fully related to you in a lot of ways. But I see that there's an issue there, some sort of, whether it's a financial issue or a health issue, I feel like it's intertwined. And you, whether this is happening, or going to happen, I would just keep this in mind, because you are connected. So it feels like you're helping them. You're assisting them with the health and the financial. Okay, and what I see here is this is part of you elevating yourself to the next level, is because it's going to have a shift in your perception of things, and you're not going to realize it in the moment. It's like you have that feeling that, oh, this is a life-changing event for me. This is something that I'm going to never forget, and all this. And yet I don't think that you do not, it's not I don't think, you do not realize how much it's a mutual exchange with this person, this family, where you are helping them, but on an energetic and a spiritual level, they are helping you tremendously. It's like, if they were to feel indebted to you, it is you also feeling that equal exchange. So you aren't going to realize it until, I'm seeing like months from now, or from that event. We'll say like 3 to 6 to 8 months is like a gradual shift or change or something there that you'll realize all the things are kind of changing for you. And then the next several years, like next 7 years, probably 7 years, and then for the rest of your life, honestly, it reroutes you. It energetically reroutes you and matures your mind in a way that you had never realized before. You had never perceived things in that way before. And it's because of this group of people. And so just recognize that that is, in a lot of ways, a blessing in disguise, because you don't really recognize how big of a blessing it is because you haven't experienced it yet. It's like you can't even imagine the difference that will make for you, even if you tried. And that is part of your journey. That is supposed to help you. They came into your life. This was a predestined event. So anything that happened or will happen, just know that there was a reason for that. There was a reason. And that reason is to help you on your journey. That was a promise. That was a promise that you all made pre-birth. And yeah, so I'll pull from here and just leave it at that, but that's essentially what I get. Hopefully I guess I'll clear on. They all want to come out, but I just want one card. Okay. We will just keep this. Just try not to force things. Okay. So, through the power of love, all shall unfold in the most perfect way for all concerned. This card is a blessing from an angel who is here to reassure you that all is well. There is no need to worry. All is bathed in a sea of divine love. Within each of us, there is yin and yang, feminine and masculine, passive and active. To have inner harmony, strike to balance all aspects of who you are. To align with your true nature, love, accept, and embrace yourself totally and completely. This card signifies expansion and the accomplishment and success that come as a result of doing what you love or something that has great meaning for you. You are creating something of lasting value that will be enjoyed by others for years to come. A strong sense of teamwork and fulfillment abound. So that's what I see. Another that I didn't really get too much into here is just be wary of those who are trying to, it's a way of manipulating your reality, because they are trying to intercept your own belief system and your own achievements in order to try and get you to fall into those traps of comparison, fall into those traps of rushing, fall into those traps of trying to be who they feel that they want to curate you into becoming. When all the magic and information and divine wisdom, all of this inspiration comes through you. It doesn't come through all these other people. And so if you just stay true to yourself and you stay grateful and you stay aware and hyper vigilant of the energy surrounding you and your own truth, you're gonna be fine. It's what you're destined to do. It's who you're destined to become. And so just remember that. Just pay attention to that. And remember, just really truly remember why you're here, which has nothing to do with the material, has nothing to do with it. And that should keep you pretty grounded, you know. When you have your basic needs met, you aren't struggling. So anyway, I'll pull one more because I feel like I want to pull one more, and then this is Archangel that I feel you should probably look into whenever you feel is right to do, if you ever feel to do that. And just a message from your guardian angels, a direct message from your guardian angels. All is well, Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.